Hey, welcome to this video. Today's topic is relationship advice for men. My name is Carl, and our website is hopeformymarriage.com. You can download our marriage rescue handbook there if you need help with your marriage today. Anyway, relationship advice for men. Having been married for nearly 33 years, was engaged for nearly a year and a half before that, and now being a man in my early 50s, I have some perspective on how to make a relationship work over time. The first thing you need to latch on to, men, is that it's not all about you. And I hope you figured that out quickly. What you find out when you get married is you're a lot more selfish than you ever realized you were. And then once you have kids, you realize just really how selfish you were. But what makes a marriage work, truthfully, is being selfless. It's learning that when you give 100% of who you are to your spouse, that will generally be reciprocated. Not always. There are times that you go through those ups and downs, but the biblical principle of marriage is this. Jesus, gave us a perfect example of a bride and a bridegroom. And the instruction of Scripture is this: husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave his life for. So at the end of the day, the thing that I have to be most cognizant of is how can I lay down my life so that my wife is always the best at who she is? How can I surrender in ways that allow her to become the person God created her to be? And here's the counterintuitive part of this. By allowing her to become all that she is intended to be, she becomes everything that I would ever want her to be. And I've seen that over and over and over again. Second piece of advice: fall in love with your wife over and over again. Remember what it was that caught your attention, whether it was her physical beauty or the way she carried herself or just her personality. What was it that you noticed first? Step back to that moment and fall in love with her all over again. And as we get older, things change. We don't look the same. I had a full head of hair when I got married, and I weighed a lot less. All my muscles seem to be strong and not so mushy. There are things that change as we get older, but we have to fall in love with our wife where we find her in the moment. I have to love her as I find her today. I have to find what's beautiful about her today. And here's the truth, men. Most of the time, as our wives grow older, they begin to second guess themselves. They don't feel as good about themselves as they once did because a lot has changed. And so for you to come along and reinforce, you're beautiful, I love you, makes all the difference in the world. And so what we find so many times is our wives really need that affirmation from us. How can I affirm? Because the default is it's easy to want to solve the problems and make recommendations. But a lot of times what we need to do is just affirm our wives, and we need to reinforce what's good about them and what's right with them and what we love about them. Next thing is find balance in your life. I've seen too many men who give everything to their career and lose their family in the process. They lose their wife in the process. Find balance. Take time out. Take time to listen to your wife, to hear her heart, to know what's going on in her life, in her world, in her mind, to just let her talk and be there to listen. To sit down with her on the couch, turn the TV off, and just be with her makes all the difference in the world. I'm an entrepreneur and a pastor. I wear a lot of hats. I stay busy. It's easy for me to be in my head. And so I have had to learn to set aside time to unplug and unprogram so I can hear what my wife has to say to me. So those are just a few thoughts for you. Hope you find those helpful. If you need the Marriage Repair Handbook, download that at hopeformymarriage.com. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.